You're in for the fight of your life against a horde of pirate ninjas. You're at number 10-1, but don't worry, they just tripped your aspect. Time to beat them down. I'm Big Mike, and this is the tutorial for Fate Accelerated. Fate Accelerated is the rules light version of the Fate core game presented in our previous tutorial on it, which is already a light rule system to begin with. They streamline Fate even further into a 50-page free-to-download PDF. It's so light I could show you the 2-page reference at the back of the book and you'd be okay to play. I won't do that because, as I said, it's free to download. But it's a system we've used, and that means a tutorial. In Fate Accelerated, there are no skills or attributes. There are only 3 things that affect your character: aspects, approaches, and stunts. I'll explain all 3. Aspects are much like they are in other Fate systems. Qualifiers that explain your character that can be invoked with a Fate point to give you +2 on a roll of your choice, or be invoked by someone else against you to give you a penalty and also a Fate point. I'll explain Fate points in a bit. Approaches replace the normal skill and stat bonus to dice rolls that players get in other systems. Instead, you and the Game Master determine how you'll attempt to do something and which approach will suit it best. They are careful, clever, flashy, forceful, quick, and sneaky. You have different values you can assign to each approach. Lastly, there are stunts. Stunts come in 2 categories. They either give a +2 to all rolls in specific situations, or enact an ability that alters the scene once per session. To take any action, the player rolls 4 fudge dice, which are denoted with plus, minus, and blank symbols. They total up the value with the approach after adding the relevant aspects and stunts. The game gives special notes for failures and ties for all actions. In turn, there are successes and successes with style, which give players greater bonuses if they succeed with a +3 or greater over the difficulty. A great deal of the game is determined by aspects, both within characters, NPCs, and the scenes of the game. How players interact with these aspects to overcome challenges as the core of the game. In fact, the system is so scaled down, there are only 6 kinds of actions. The first 2 actions involve creating advantages. These are +2 bonus from aspects. Players can try and create advantage from something existing in the scene, like props or NPC flaws, or create a new aspect and gain a +2 advantage from it. The next action is known as overcoming a challenge, which is something like picking locks, climbing walls, and whatnot. Then there's attacking, which ranges from trying to harm someone to making a cutting remark that hurts their self-esteem. Defending, which is used to interrupt any of the other actions, but only attacking can be stopped without discussing it with the GM and group first. The last is getting help from an ally, which grants +1 for any ally that gives up their turn to assist the player. Fate Accelerated uses our old friend the ladder to showcase how hard something should be as a challenge, as well as how great a success should be, though the book has recommended difficulties for most challenge levels. In addition, this game also uses Fate points. These can be used to apply aspects to the situation as advantages, give rerolls, and other minor uses in the system which we won't cover here. They are determined by the refresh rate, the amount a player gets at the start of a session, which starts at 3 but can go down if they take too many stunts. Lastly, there's combat. In a battle of fists, it's determined by the highest quick approach and careful approach for mental conflicts. The attacking player rolls their chosen approach against the defender. If they succeed, they do damage in the stress track equal to the result. If they exceed the stress track, they gain a consequence, and this grows in severity from a -2 to a -6 until the character is taken out. Conversely, a player can choose to be taken out early in combat for a reward in Fate points. And that is Fate Accelerated. It's very adaptable, highly customizable, and easy to use. And you can catch us using it here on D20 Live.